Well, there's the intro.
There is no beginning to this story. At least you won't find it here. You see, we're at the end of the final act now, spilled over onto the red pages for one last tale from the dying decade. This last entry is made up of 17 short films, ranging in duration from 20 seconds to 2 minutes. A miscellaneous collection of ideas uniquely tied to the last movement of this story, the story that began 50 movies ago. This is the second of the 17 films, which means we're 2 steps ahead on our way to the end. This was going to be a movie about how I make movies. Then I'm reminded I work in chaos and hold an insufficient amount of pretension to pretend otherwise. I haven't stuck with a process for any considerable length of time. No set way of going about this. The only transferable practice for this last run of projects has been writing as much of these by hand that I can. It's too easy to erase history on a screen. Don't be afraid to leave blood on the pages. We play fair and we work hard and we're in harmony. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Forever let us hold our banner high, high, high. I knocked at your door. I'd like to dedicate this movie to the great Emily Dickinson. Problem. Who's that knocking at my door? The PEEPHOLE solution. Just like ice in a glass. Wear safety glasses. I just needed a lamp, but the door is still open. Now I know who's come to see me. Ghosts of the hanged man, the lovers, and the star. Give me your hand. The following drawings are visual thank you notes to the women who showed me warmth in their words after I came back from where I was born in August. The first, who smiled like Richie Havens played guitar, with a voice that stopped time and footsteps I'd have walked in if I wasn't to fly away so soon. I thought about the kindness of the woman down the street and around the bend, and the woman I met who rode a motorcycle, brave and free, and the only one who knew my real name last term, who told me about the cat she had on a leash. I'd have given you my hands, but a woman with sunflower eyes has sewn them into my pockets. I wondered about the woman with a view of the ocean from her balcony. I think your birthday was this week, the week I wrote these words. Can't remember what color your eyes are. Mine are still blue. I don't take my dark glasses off much. Getting used to my disguise before I go into hiding.
But where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed?
In spite of ascending these stairs every day, and contrary to the framing device of this film, there's not 17 steps. There's 19. I never learned to count past my 10 fingers. The missing movies must be stepped over for now, though not for a lack of dedication. It's just the long echo of the train to nowhere land is closer than it's ever been before, and my ticket is only good till the new year. I'm a dreamer. There was a murder here, but it seems everyone's forgotten. Too busy watching the next fight to clean it up. Blood doesn't wash out like chalk pianos. The curator used to keep the peace with a speech, but he handed it over and went west. War came. The good guys lost. Parents sell their children to billboard brokers for a seat at the infinity table. Money falls from the sky, but it's caught by those who walk on stilts, or the ones that break their legs to take it. They're turning out the lights now and carrying away yesterday's bodies. I hid in the hall of the sculptures. I was gonna leave tomorrow, but I'd just as soon leave today. The dream is over. It finished the job in breaking my heart. The other tables I found myself with a seat at started. I'll send the new work over when it's done, but it'll be someone else's job to hang. So Mama, I'm leaving the gallery. If you're there to see it, what hangs on the nail where this now rests, tell the buyers offering fortune to send a message to the sun. I should have found it by then. At least I'll get the message when I do. Nostalgia collector, take my payment. I know now there's a price to pay for looking back. While this picture frame appears to contain a self-portrait of Kubrick, the final rendering will be of Edvard Munch's The Dance of Life, but I won't get into why. I see the contradiction here. Grant me this one last time, before I abandon these hills for good. This is my chance to see the war for what it really is. Check in on the commander who promised me safety if I followed his lead. Ah, the parting gift from my stay at Hotel Purgatory.
Ah, but I'm so desolate. I'll dedicate my drive for perfection to the first divine image that happens along.
Rimbaud wrote A Season in Hell when he was 19. There's something to holding a work in high regard of someone with a pair of eyes that have seen the same amount of days as you. It makes a lot of sense the first time I feel this way is through communing with a dead poet from the 19th century. He slipped me the key to the last lock on a door to a cell that now sits empty. None of this was ever part of the plan. To be honest, I didn't have much of one to begin with. All this just rose out of a need within, some kind of possession, one that's only strengthened as I've rediscovered the sense of conviction I lost sight of for a while. After Rimbaud published Illuminations, he quit writing, for all the reasons that have crossed my mind too. A dedication to escaping an identity the act of making things unintentionally creates. But I've just found my voice a few steps back, and I've got a lot left to say. I am almost young. I'm finding my way back now, but I am free. I am free. I've never known a transition to happen as smoothly as it does in my mind. These last few movies have been a scramble, a story of trying to turn to a new chapter, fighting with the pages that were stuck together. I was waiting for a ship to come in, but I was at the top of a mountain, 1,000 miles away from where I should be. I have it on good authority it's coming in, straight from the captain dressed in black who handed me the match and new boots to be broken in. Well, I guess you know what happens next. The smoke followed on the way off the mountain, the fire contained with the help of a friend. The guards at the bottom, they let me go for the watch that turned back time. They'll always have something to protect if they want. I've nothing left to burn here anymore. I've let it go. In the absence of an enemy, out of this path of self-imposed destruction has come a way forward, an exit off the highway of regret. I can't write the next chapter yet because I'm not done living it, but I've turned to it. It begins with a road, long and lonesome, full of new stories on the way to the harbor. Yes, the Christmas accoutrements are done. The presents are packed. Is there anything you need from me? I got 1 hour of sleep. I'm good. Fly safe. Bye-bye.
wasn't older yet. I wasn't wise, I guess. Somewhere I lost whatever else I had. I wasn't over you. I see it run inside itself, and then I called you out. I'm not such old man I was, feeling it so much right and wrong, and then I woke myself confused. Your dress comes down to you. Don't get it wrong, don't get excited. I wanted so much to be at rest. Now that I'm older, so be it. So of love, the silent man comes down, all dressed in radiant colors. You see it for yourself, to demonstrate my love for you. I thought I was so in love. Some say it wasn't true.